This is the 20th Century Chevy Car Club in Washington, Indiana. Find us on Facebook for more information. This video is about our 1962 Chevy race car that is affectionately known as HELLZ POPPIN. When I started this video today, or started getting ready for it, we had overcast skies and the perfect day to make a video, and now the sun's beating down on us and light's terrible. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take Poppin down into the woods and make a video down there. See if he wants to start. All right, which have a little bit better light here to see Poppin's artwork and whatever else. Very much in his work clothes. This is not like a quote nice car. This is a race car. It's been a race car almost its entire life. It, from what I understand, it started out as a police car up in Worthington, Indiana, and it was bought by the Martindale brothers, which lived up near the racetrack in Lyons, Indiana, and they are the ones that actually turned it into a race car, and they also named it HELLZ POPPIN. When it was originally named HELLZ POPPIN and turned into a race car, the car was actually blue. I'll show you here in a few minutes some of the blue that's still on the car. But you know, like I said, she's in her work clothes here. You know, it's got flaws, but that's part of the character of the car, I think, anyway. And for the most part, you know, I plan on keeping it very much the way it is now. It may get a motor transplant at some point, but for now, we're still running the same motor that Jim and Mac put in it. Speaking of, we'll go ahead and pop the hood and the trunk, and we'll show you what's going on under there. Before I actually go open with the hood, I just wanted to show the hood pins. I love looking at these things. You pull one off and you look at the thousands of times that hood pin has been pulled. I think about all the men that came before me that worked on this car, the fun that was had, the tears, sweat, and blood that went into this car. It's this thing means a lot to me. It means a lot to a lot of people in this community. Here we go. This is a pretty mild 454. It's got oval port heads on it. You know, this is nothing super hot, super crazy, but it does make the car a lot of fun to drive. One rather unique thing about this car is the carburetor. This is one of the old, let's see, what's the number on this thing? Let's see, it's over here. I think it says 4604. I was thinking it was a 3604, but anyway, it's a 3-barrel Holly is what it is. Which I believe these are, I believe this one is 1030 CFM. So back in the day before the Dominator was a thing, this was the biggest, baddest carburetor that you could buy from Holly. I've seen one guy on YouTube from, was the guy's name, Nick's Garage. He claims that Vic Elderbrock actually designed this carburetor while he was working for Holly. But it's a great big vacuum secondary, and that's what this big pancake is over here. That big diaphragm, that is the vacuum secondary. And this has one of the most pronounced 4 barrels. I guess really it's a 3-barrel. But whenever you dip down into those secondaries, man, the car really comes alive. More so than on most vehicles that I've been used to. Let's open up, show a little bit of the interior. For a long time, the car just ran one racing seat, and I ended up with a couple more seats that I was told were the original seats to the car, but another guy in the club told me that the trim was not correct for this car, so I don't know where they really came from. But anyway, it's got a second seat in it now. Nothing in back. Kids do like riding back there though, and parades and whatnot. They can throw candy from back there. But you know, it's bare bones. There's no carpet. It's roll cage and a little fan, and not much in the way of creature comforts. Let's see, I bought the car in 2017, I believe, off of a couple individuals in the club. But you know, this isn't just my car. This is the club's car. This is Washington's car. This is the community's car. You know, I can't take this thing out and not have somebody stop me and say, hey, back in the day when whoever was running it, I helped him, and you know, we had a good time. And you know, just telling me different stories about the car from you know, that individual's experiences with it. And you know, this car has just made a lot of good memories for a lot of different people in this area. Bet your be gas. It always cracked me up. Of course, that's referring to B gas class. It does have a little fuel cell back there. Oh, it's 5 or 6 gallons. It's not much. I keep a little gas can back there in case I run out. I actually have driven this thing to work a couple of times. Well, once. I drove it to work one time. It's 17 miles door to door. And with a 454 that likes to slobber on itself, and I think it's got 410 or 411 rear gears in it. Fuel mileage is not the best on this thing, with a loose converter, of course. But anyway, yeah, I drove it to work a time or two. Oh, here's the blue paint I was telling you about. And we'll head back up to the club. Let's see if we can find some more pictures of the car in the club. One more weird thing about this carburetor. Look at that choke plate. They've run a manual choke, but the giant holes through that choke plate. It's so weird. But that's a fairly collectible carburetor. The carburetor, I'll learn how to talk here in just a second. The carburetor was actually stolen off of the car several years ago. somebody in town found it or knew the person that stole it or something or other. Anyway, the club decided to go ahead and pony up the money and get the car out of ransom, or get the parts out of ransom. And so it's got the original, well, not the original carburetor, but the carburetor that's been on the car for a long time back. Because it's, you know, it's part of what this car is. We are now inside the clubhouse, and all the way around the ceiling, the edge of the walls there, we've got pictures of different club cars through the years. But here are two pictures of Poppin. I don't know if you can read that or not. It says, this 1962 Chevrolet owned by the 20th Century Chevy Car Club Washington was class winner at the Chandler drag races last week. The car, called HELLZ Poppin, has a 292 cubic engine. The club is located at 701 Highway 57 North, and that is from the old car club location. That's not where we're at anymore. But anyway, you can tell in that picture the car was actually blue. There's a lot more cars up here. There's actually my GTO. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go for a little cruise. We'll see how much storage I have left on my phone. It may abruptly end, we'll see. If the thing will start. Starter gets hot. I replaced the starter with a mini starter. It's supposed to be a high torque, but it still gives me issues.